Hello everybody and welcome to this evening's double header this Sunday night. My name is Crowboy and I am joined once again by Yessoan. How are you doing tonight?
Yo, I'm feeling great. I'm ready for some Splatoon gameplay. We've got some Div 1 and Div 2 for you tonight. Some great matchups later on for sure, and a pretty hard-fought match to start us off, I think.
Yes, indeed. We're going to head... Our first... English is sometimes very, very hard. We're going to head into our first match here, which is Division 1, My Little Yosaf versus Serotonin. This is a bit of top of the table, bottom of the table clash here, so we'll see if we can get a nice little upset. What do you think's going to happen this set?
Well, Serotonin have firmly placed themselves at the top of the ladder so far. We've had a lot of closer games leading into this, but like they've got a large roster to work with, so they can adapt to the game modes that they're playing. Yosaf have been able to get some solid points on the board though. They have a lot of, I think, core strength to their team. They might struggle at extending out on their own, but as a team they coordinate really well together, and I think this is going to be quite an exciting set. I think there's going to be quite a few clutch moments from these teams to save last-minute pushes.
Yes, indeed. And remember, if you do see any of those clutch moments, be sure to clip them so they can be showcased later in the tide, and so you don't forget about the amazing moments that happened during this entire Oceanink series.
Perfect plug. We love to see it. Shall we have a quick look at the team's counter picks for this set? Because I know what we're starting with. We're starting with Rainmaker Undertow, but we're just waiting on one player, so we've got a bit of time. So let's have a look at what is available.
Oh, nice and lovely here. For our zones options tonight, we have zones ROM-en and vertical map that I want to say it's Moray, but it's not Moray. It's Flounder. Not Moray, Flounder. For tower control, we've got Inkblot and Mincemeat. Rainmaker, we have Barnacle and Dime and Humpback. And then for clams tonight, we have the Scorch Gorge and Museum action.
Yeah, nothing too surprising in here, nothing too risky. I mean, like, it's very rare to see tower control on both of these maps, I would say. Inkblot, maybe you see more so. Goodness. What do you say about the other choice?
I mean, yeah, Tower Mincemeat is definitely a choice that you can make in series.
I'm not going to say picking it. It's just, it can't come up. It won't. It simply can't.
It should probably not. I will give a sub if someone picks Tower Mincemeat tonight. Like, I do not see that map being picked in absolutely any sense of the word.
Yeah. I mean, look, crazy things have happened, especially when a team is down back against the corner. They need something crazy. But yeah, we just do not see it most of the time. We've got support in chat for Mincemeat tower control. Hey, chat, if it happens, I'm going to be thrilled.
Yeah, look, it's a random sub. I'm gonna probably have to input my credit card information because I haven't actually put my card information on Twitch yet. So, it's gonna be completely random. Whoever gets it, gets it. Let's not fight over it. It's gonna be completely random.
Yeah, just make sure you're tuned in for when that happens. But let's talk about Undertow Spillway. It's where we're starting off. We've seen Rainmaker Undertow Spillway a couple times in series so far, and we've had some knockouts that have been pretty impressive over the course of the last few games.
Yeah, Undertow, especially when you're attacking, can feel kind of snowbally at times, especially once you get 3 or 4 down. Just because the map is so wide, it can take a while to get to those highly defensible points that you want to be able to stop pushes. But also, with the latest patch, there have been quite a few buffs, particularly to Hammer, which is going to make, I believe, some of these choke points much easier to break through, especially since Hammer, as I said earlier, got buffed and is now much more consistent, and the throw is a literal nuke.
They really did buff my favorite weapon. I could not be happier to have Ultra Stamp buff. And, you know, hopefully that means we see a few changes. Maybe we see a Ultra Stamp instead of a Trizuka. I don't think it's likely, especially because the Trizuka still has a lot of utility, but it's always on the cards.
Yes, indeed, but Here we go into game number 1, RM Undertow Spillway. Let's see what we are going with today. Yeah, pretty normal out there, and yep, everything's looking pretty normal here. Flash, dualies, gals, shots. I mean, like pretty average weapons here. Yosaf's going a bit more dive and frontline aggression with both a Stamper and a Carbon, but overall just fine picks.
Yeah, nothing too surprising early on. Sniper Rider painting up to get special. Gal doing a good job skirmishing in mid. It's a pretty neutral start.
Yeah, pretty neutral. Gal does go down pretty early. No Stamper, that Crab is going to cancel that straight away. Carbon goes down as well to the Crab. So now my little Yosaf are 2 down as Serotonin is going for that breakaway push on left, but they do have to worry about the shot in mid. Is going to be able to stop the push pretty quickly. Now the pencil needs to back out.
Yeah, we see the Stamper just trying to jostle around that. They've got a Rainmaker in a good spot, but they do not want to leave it there, so they're going to go for the push here. See what kind of distance they can make. Try Zuka at the front line, searching for players, doesn't really find anyone. Trade off to the side as well. They've got a good chance of getting towards this checkpoint, but I don't think they're going to clear it.
No, Crab is going to stop it quite distinctly, and the Carbon is a bit too far forward there. So they're going down without providing much value as well. We do see that the Splash, who did have a Crab tank, is going to pick up. Dualies do go down, however, due to some well-placed Sniper Rider shots, and now a little bit of a no retreat warning, which is a little bit rough from the game. But now that, oh my god, Carbon out of nowhere. Rainmaker, he's going to go trade. 3-2 now on the side of Yosaf.
Beautiful stuff there. With Tactical and 2 specials ready to go for Yosaf, they should be able to hold the line here quite convincingly. And I mean, it's not much of a lead at the moment. I think until someone clears a checkpoint, there's no reason even calling an advantage here.
Yeah, no, this is pretty much, the Rainmaker pretty much hasn't left mid yet. Oh my, very attempted sneaky plays by the Carbon there. But no, you're right. No real team has created one significant push here with already 2 minutes down on the clock. We are going to see that Zipcaster come out now. Gal does go down to that shot. Zalph doing an amazing job. Rainmaker is going to find the trade out. Carbon finds one in mid as well. Ooh. Rainmaker's on a breakaway push for lead, however, and does break through the checkpoint.
No one is there to stop it. Carbon gets distracted by a fight, and the rest of the team too slow to react. Gal now on the high ground. Manages to get one before trading out. Rainmaker gets some significant distance. There's nowhere for it to swim. Oh. They make for a points push, and they get a pretty good score.
Yeah, all the way down to 10 is a very, very big push here. Yosaf pretty much need to get knockout here, as 10 is not that far away from the Rainmaker, as we can see right here, and you kind of need to push it oh my god, Gal almost gets there in time. But the shot is able to pick up the RN just in the nick of time here for the Gal's flank to just barely not be able to pull off a very sneaky knockout.
Yeah, the rare flank on short to get the knockout was a very clever play. Unfortunately, didn't quite pay out. We've got Crab Tank backing up the Rainmaker now. Ooh, Rainmaker shot doesn't go high. Hits the cover. That's going to really cost them some coverage. Crab Tank suffering under that firepower. I don't see them increasing their score here, so why are they playing so risky?
Well, maybe it's just to make sure that you can hold them away from the Rainmaker. If you can't push the Rainmaker, there's no... don't let your opponents push the Rainmaker and you push it back as far in as you can. It's going to be really, really hard for your opponents to actually start a push, break through first check, and then get pedestal at the end.
Yeah, Serotonin able to stay alive here in the enemy territory. It takes a Carbon and several bombs to flush them out. Carbon manages to catch another as well. That's a clean double. Always in the right place at the right time with a Carbon is how you get the best splats. We've got a minute left on the clock now. Yosaf still yet to clear the checkpoint. It's going to be quite the uphill battle.
Oh my god, double Zuka. The Zuka's going down to the Gal, gets a triple. Gets the quad, even.
Devastating stuff. Serotonin with a clean push here now. They've got plenty of time to set up in this corner and just really hunker down. They don't have to get a checkpoint if they don't want it. They can just keep it in this annoying spot.
Elbow here is really hard to actually push out of, especially when you've got the entirety of the attacking team just up and ready to go. But it does look like they want a little bit more. Squid roll onto the check, and that is going to be game 1 for Serotonin.
Yeah, not content with their 10-point victory, they shut it down with a very clean push from the high ground. It's definitely the safest way to do it. They took their time with it, and they got it done.
Very much indeed. Very well done there by Serotonin, and I just found out where the gifting function is. I'm just going to keep that ready to go on my phone.
Just
in case Mincemeat Gal gets picked.
You know
a sub is $11.50?
Yeah, they've definitely increased the price. That's just how it is. I think at this point, the chances of that map getting picked are probably like an 18%. I don't think it's high. I'm very, very sure we'll go this set without seeing it. But can't pass up on it for sure. Oh, okay, maybe you should log in on your PC, just in case.
Yeah, let me just quickly it is already open on my PC. Let's go have a look real quick.
Visible, thank you very much for that notification. You have just potentially saved.
Oh my god, it's so much cheaper. It's only $9.
There you go. Alright, we do have our counter pick in already, nice and quick. We are going through to... wait, hang on. Yep, no, that does exist. It's Splat Zones on Robo ROM-en next up.
Ooh, lovely, lovely.
It's a fun map. A lot of our players like it, so it's not too surprising that we're seeing it.
Honestly, this is a map I like to play as well. I think just like a lot of weapons are really good here. Especially just since Zone is on like a slightly elevated place, so if you want to play a little bit sharky off to the sides with a blaster or a slosher, you can definitely do that, or just like any general sharking weapon, you can definitely do that. But also, since the Zone is on that elevated platform, you kind of just need to be in the, I was about to, in the thick of it, to just be able to really contest Zone.
You gotta do it. I mean, it is a zone that is very easily to just quickly neutralize from the side. But so often you see players just diving right through, and I don't think...
V-roller now.
Yeah, these weapons are definitely
Dread.
Dread? Did you say Dread?
Yeah, Carbon's out for V-roller, and we have a Dread here for Slider Cheese on Zone with at least a main of special power up.
I mean, I suppose it's not too surprising. Ooh, a lovely hit early there for Yosaf with the Splatana. That is going to give them zone control early. Dread does seem like a good choice from contesting the zone, but like its kit is so difficult. I don't know if it's the... I guess if the players have practice, well, they'll make it work.
Yeah, and it seems like it is kind of working at the moment with the crab as well.
Oh.
Serotonin is... Slider finds 2, I believe. Never mind about the kit, that Slider will do just enough work on its own. Serotonin is going to get the recap here, and they have a crab ready for lockout as well.
Yeah, this is a dangerous situation. Snipe Rider, ooh, beautiful shots from the crab tank to shut that one down. And with their Snipe Rider down, they don't really have a way to get back a lot of control, which means they are going to be losing valuable points here. Oh my goodness! I didn't even see how they took down the Zuka there.
Yeah, the second crab was able to find just enough hits there to take out Zuka. Roller is going to trade out essentially with the dualies here. 30 ticks left on the timer for Serotonin. Slider isn't going to find much value, but is going to hold a lot of space. Pencil is forced to jump back to spawn. Now there's only 20 ticks left on the counter.
This is looking like it's over before it even started. Even now, if they were able to push back in with the 2-player advantage, I don't think they're going to be able to neutralize in time. The Zipcaster tries to get there, but they can't quite do it.
Zuka and Zipcaster were just not enough to neutralize the zone there. It did look like only about maybe 45% roughly was painted.
Yeah,
heartbreaking stuff.
It was close. Like, they did try everything they had at their disposal to make it happen, but they couldn't quite get there. And that's a very clean, not quite 100-0, but like, it was a very quick match, that's for sure.
Well, it wasn't. I guess that knockout is always 100-0 as recorded on the app, but...
Yeah, which, like, doesn't feel super accurate, but that's... I mean, knockouts are impressive. Like, it takes a lot of work to get a knockout. That was a solid hold. We saw a lot of good staggering from Serotonin. They were able to get some really key picks and cancel the opponent's specials. So there really was no re-entry hope for Yosaf there. They really... I think what they needed was a wide flank. But it's very hard to get off a wide flank when you're being watched on all sides. If you send someone off to the side, they could just get splattered, and then you start staggering again.
Yeah, it's just kind of a catch-22 there. You just do one thing, it's the wrong option, do another, it's also the wrong option. There's... Ugh, disgusting decisions.
There are definitely options, right? Like, Robo ROM-en Splat Zones does have re-entry options. There's a lot of terrain you can use. the opponent, like Serotonin, had to use specials to camp them. Without those specials, it would have been much easier for them to push back.
Yes, indeed. It seems like the counter pick is in. We are going to TC Inkblot.
You thought you could get him excited with that? Oh, no, of course it was going to be Inkblot. Tower Control Inkblot, much more favorable for this kind of matchup. I mean, there's a lot of very good setups for Serotonin here to really get underneath my little Yosaf skin. But hopefully, I mean, we saw some signs of life at the start of that game. Yosaf got the early lead, got the early splats. So they can do it. It's just, they're up against some pretty tough competition here.
Yeah, it seems like Serotonin are just very good of just coming back from a push, especially when they're only 2 down and you haven't been able to effectively stagger them. They'll just come back all together pretty much and just throw bombs, throw bullets your way, and just make sure that you cannot stay in that space anymore.
Absolutely. And we did see some very keen super jumps from Yosaf as well, and the Reef Glider was able to punish that. So hopefully we see a bit less eagerness on that front now.
I did just notice that Jelle and Sile had the exact same banner, like exact same title, badges and everything.
I think they're coordinating. It's cute.
Anyways, Sea Blaster is the new weapon out of my little Yosaf for this set, and Serotonin going back to the same comp they did in round 1. Sea Blast Tower, Inkblot, I mean, that pairing goes as well as butter and bread.
It's logical, and especially with the splashdown being in the state it is right now, it can provide some pretty clutch moments. That being said, we have Serotonin already with a 3-player advantage, Crab Tank in position, and Tacticooler. It's going to be very hard for Yosaf to take this first checkpoint away from them.
Yeah, the checkpoint's pretty much going uncontested here. You're going to have to pretty much set up in bat and try to make sure that they can't come in. But with 2 members of Serotonin going up into bat, it's very hard. Splash will find 2 there, which is pretty huge. It's going to stagger them even more, as now they have a crab in the nook. It's going to be super hard to get rid of.
Oh, this is a bit demoralizing, isn't it? Like, Yosaf haven't really been able to stabilize at all here. The tower has not stopped moving. Every player that tries for a flank gets completely called out. Zalph there trying to dive in, gets caught out. Oh my goodness, the duelie's doing amazing work up front. We do get a splat on tower from the Stamper, but gets neutralized out. Blaster's not able to get any picks either, and that's looking like it's going to be a knockout.
Great. Pen, almost found them, but unfortunately not quite. Pop a crab for safety. That is going to be a quick game number 3 to Serotonin.
Oh, doesn't feel great, you know, that, like, we try with series to keep teams as even as possible, but with only 2 divisions, you can only split teams up so much. And this is looking like a bit of a, just a larger skill difference than is overcomable at this point.
Yeah, I mean, Clams hasn't been chosen yet. Maybe that is Serotonin's weak point.
It's true. Every team does have weak points. That's why they're not world champions. So there has to be something they can do. And like, you know, My Little Yosaf, they run a very specific comp. They have weapons that they like, and they stick to them even if they're not the strongest weapons out there. And I think that's really cool. I think it's cool that they're playing these weapons that they have fun with. It's just a shame that they're not really able to show their strengths in this matchup, because they're just not able to get a foothold and lock down the defensive line.
Yeah, indeed. It's quite unfortunate. We would like to see him flourish a little more here, but it does look like the counter pick is in. I am not giving away a sub just yet. We're on RM Humpback.
Yep, it's gonna take a point from My Little Yosaf to keep that in play. Yeah, we'll see how it goes. Rainmaker Humpback is not the easiest map to knock out. You have to go right past the opponent's spawn to get that knockout. So it takes a real significant effort to make that happen. And also, there's a lot of very nasty little choke points. The elbow corner is very hard to move through. The little box past glass is very hard to deal with if there's someone sharking there. So there are plenty of opportunities to stop this push.
Yeah, especially if you still have your entire team up there. It's nearly impossible to be able to push through any of the chokes on this map. you really need to be able to take a few members out and then go for a breakaway push just as fast as you can. Or you just need to be able to push them back effectively enough so that they're not there anymore.
Yeah, well, I can let you know we already have all the players on My Little Yosaf locked in. They know what weapons they like to run, and they are ready for it. Rainmaker definitely was the map where My Little Yosaf had the strongest contest in this set so far. So hopefully they're able to pull that out again and potentially hold on.
Yeah, indeed. It would be nice. Maybe they'll run their Weezer comp of Blue Dapples, Pen, Sword, and Sea Blast. That would be a bit...
For
That'd be
Rainmaker?
lovely to see.
I mean, it'd be lovely, but also,
yeah.
I don't know how I feel about Sea Blast on Rainmaker.
Humpback, there's enough angles to work with. It could work. And you have Splashdown for pop.
We'll see how it shakes out. Match point for Serotonin here.
An ink brush and a heavy edit.
Alright.
And that is a pencil, a squiffer, and a brush?
Okay, this is very different. I appreciate what's going on here. Ink brush, very popular on this map because it can make good use of the terrain very quickly. But like, the squiffer is a surprise.
I mean, Squiffer it's a highly mobile weapon, it's got good range, it's got a one-shot. The bubble is pretty good for locking out checks as well. However, Sword is going to be able to find the pick, and that is the problem with Squiff, that you need to hit your shots here. Stamper is already at elbow, ready to go. There's the RM, and there goes the Stamper now. Thanks to that brush. They're uncontested. Yosaf's going to take first check and lead.
Amazing, good use
of... lovely play!
Yeah, not only using the Zipcaster well, but also the Ink Brush being a sacrificial player to allow that checkpoint to be uncontested. It was quite strong.
Indeed, let's see if they can continue making pushes like that. They do see a crab ready to go.
Oh!
Here comes Azuka. Dash find the pick on the crab.
Amazing.
Huge. That crab is not going to be up for quite a while. Zalph finds one. Zalph finds two.
Zalph's technically on a 4 streak right now, I think. Doing very well for the team.
Yeah, Zalph is on his 4 streak. Has not died yet. Making a 5 streak, actually. Zalph is going crazy up in mid.
No! The change-up!
Oh.
I mean, very impressive there. Crazy Frog doing the change-up there. Could have just kept going, but they knew to pull back and do the same path again. It's a very strong Ultra Stamp technique, and I do love to see it.
Yeah, I think Zalph just got a little bit greedy. They could have just... Oh, suction on the RM shield. Hello, how are we doing tonight?
Yeah, very good stop there. They've cleared out their elbow and regained control. The Ink Brush here might be able to pick up the Rainmaker 4 lead. They decide not to. The Squiffer goes for it instead, has snuck past the enemy line. Zalph, the only one to defend. They got pretty far. That's a very good push.
All the way down to 21 now. That's a lot of work for Yosaf to do. Headed does go down extremely early. Sword, who was holding the RM, goes down as well. Hammer is... Oh, yeah, gets in there. Oh, no, he does not, actually. He's got a bit of a delay.
Zalph has been carrying for Yosaf here in these lines. Just really holding on as much as they can to make sure their team has as many opportunities as they need to make this happen. Got Tacticooler coming out for Serotonin now. They're in a good position. They're taking the left push, which is pretty unprecedented. They've taken 3 players down. It's just the Stamper, and the Stamper goes down.
And that means it is going to be a very clean 4-0 sweep for Serotonin for Game 1 of the doubleheader.
Not the most exciting for stream, but well earned by Serotonin. Very clean set of sets. We did see some signs of life from My Little Yosaf in those Rainmaker games, but unfortunately not able to hold out against Serotonin's playstyle and couldn't keep up the defense they needed.
Yeah, it was really unfortunate. It did seem that Yosaf was finding their groove a little bit, especially in Game 4 on RM Humpback. It was definitely happening. They were able to get through first check, which is as far as they managed to get all day. It just wasn't enough.
Yeah. Well, that is that game done and dusted. That is going to be Serotonin giving themselves a 3rd point on the leaderboard, doing very well in Division 1. In 30 minutes, we are going to be coming back with Monkey Barrel and Razbros. These teams are not only evenly seeded, but are currently in a fight for second place in their division. And this match will be the decider, so that's going to be very exciting.
Is TC Mincemeat in their pool as well?
That's a good question. Let me check. It is not.
Okay.
You're off the hook.
My sub is safe.
Yeah, congratulations on that. All right, well, in that case, we're gonna take a break. We'll be back with a different streamer. We'll see who's gonna be on mic for that. I believe, Crowboy, you likely will be there. I might be, I might not be. We'll see how it pans out. But we will see you in a bit, everyone.
Get some water, get some food. It's gonna be half an hour. You got a bit of time here. Make sure you stay hydrated, stay fed, and keep squatting.
See you soon.